very warm welcome to live lunch in Studio 2 at the lovely Bournemouth University. My name is Amy Scott Ringro. With me today is Luke Morris, who is an avid videographer for local festivals. Coming up, Luke tells us all about studying at university, how he got into camera work, and how a lady once chased him across a festival site. All that in just a moment, but first, can you introduce yourself for me and tell us who you are?
Well, I am Luke, and I'm a student here at Bournemouth Uni, currently studying computer animation and visual effects. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. It's definitely a big change from home. Normally I'm in like a quiet little village in the countryside, but coming here in a bit more of a lively town, and just everything here is so much bigger and more fun, and I'm enjoying everything about it.
Where have you moved from?
It's kind of West Midlands, so 5 hours away from here, so quite a trek.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's pretty far. Home's quite far.
And you said about that adjustment to university. You seem to be, is this new to you, computer effects animation?
The whole animation side and the actual effects is, but my love for video and just the creative side of it all, it's always been there.
Yeah. So you said you're a photographer, videographer and that sort of thing, and you do events, but what made you then take that jump instead of studying that? What made you want to go and study animation instead?
Well, in my A-levels in college, I studied film, computer science and graphics, and alongside doing this festival work and these gigs, I wanted to challenge myself a bit more. I wanted to try something new. So I decided to combine all three of my subjects and my knowledge from doing these festival work and working on the cameras, and I wanted to just mix it all into one, which is where I found computer animation, because it kind of uses everything, a bit of programming, a bit of graphics and film, just all in one, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask, I know that our animation department is very well regarded globally. What made you choose Bournemouth University?
Well, I went through a few different unis just for a little taster days, and when I came here, the whole atmosphere of here just seemed right. Like everyone was happy, everyone was chatty and just talking to you and just interested. And I felt more at home here than I did at anywhere else I'd looked at, and it just kind of clicked for me. I knew that I had to come here.
Nice. And what's been the best skill? I want to get on to your photography and videography in a second, but what's been your sort of most interesting animation skill you think you've developed so far?
Oh, okay. I think the most interesting one is UV mapping for a 3D model. Because it's just turning a 3D model of something into a 2D map and kind of turning a 3D into a 2D and mapping it all out into different organizations. It's interesting for me. I do post-production editing, but I don't ever venture into that end of it. So it's interesting seeing the difference. So speaking of editing and that sort of thing, you do photography, videography as a hobby. Yes.
What's your kind of go-to in terms of your favorite type and style of photography and videography?
So in my own time, I do a lot of urban street photography, getting buildings and things like that. But my main interest in photography is festivals and gigs. I love going to little gigs and working on sets and just taking photos and videos. I love it. It's my little passion.
It's amazing. How did you get into that?
So my dad is a photographer, and he knew a big boss of a company that did some gigs around where I live. And I got into work experience with him, and they really enjoyed me during work experience. I didn't do any camera work. I was just coiling cables. But I made a good impression, and they started inviting me to their gigs and just being part of the crew, being a family. And they loved me, so they just kept me on, and I've just been going with them since.
That must have been an amazing experience, for you to be welcomed so easily into kind of a company like that. So are you still working with them now? Is that something you're still doing?
Yeah. So when I get home for Christmas, there's a few Christmas gigs on choirs at churches, and there's a famous person near us, locally famous, that's doing a gig in a chapel, which I'm really excited for.
That's amazing. So you're doing very different things, from sort of churches to big festival grounds and that sort of thing. So what's been your kind of favourite festival that you've worked on?
Favourite festival? Probably one called Woodtrop, which is kind of the biggest one in my county.
Not to be confused with Woodstock, I assume.
Yes, not to be confused. That was definitely my favourite. A lot of crazy things happened on that festival, and we all had a lot of fun.
Is that what draws you to it the most, do you think? Is it working with the people? I'm sure it's the experience as a whole, but what are the biggest draws in that sort of work for you?
I think being able to be friendly with the crew and gain an understanding of what goes into a festival and the production of it. And I'm really interested in just what everyone's doing. And I feel like kind of a family with them now, where we've all got friendships and we all know everyone. And it just kind of feels like a home away from home, just going on tour with them and doing all these things. It's like, I feel like I've got a group of people that they just know me, and it's really nice.
No, that sounds really, really nice. And that's exactly what you want from work, is to not just enjoy the job, but enjoy the people that you're working with. What sort of roles then? Tell me about the roles you sort of do at those festivals. I know you said you're into videography, but what does that look like on an average kind of gig for you?
So yeah, it's mainly videography. So I'm often on the stage on a tripod, just doing like basic pan shots and getting some close-ups and just feeling the vibe of what's going on. But if it's a lively crowd, I'll get the signal to hop off my tripod and go on a wireless link and run around the crowd and get some crowd shots, which there's a lot of funny stories about that.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be getting to that one just shortly. But before we do, I'm just interested to hear more about kind of your experiences in other places as well. So you do a lot of festivals. You said you've got something coming up in a church.
Yeah.
What other sort of gigs do you tend to do?
I've done a few jazz gigs. They're probably one of my favorites because it's so calm and everyone's chill. They're just having fun. But yeah, it's kind of a wide variety of whatever's available. I've done a little game festival, which is very interesting. It was like in a big warehouse with a bunch of different massive screens and an audience, and everyone was just playing games.
Like video games or tabletop games?
It was all Mario Kart and like Rocket League and things like that. I had so much fun just recording it, and at the end I got to play. It was great.
That sounds amazing. So it's not just music, it's kind of all sorts of events and things. Oh, that sounds really, I would love to do that. That sounds really, really fun.
No, it is. It really is fun.
So what is an average kind of, you said you got stuff over winter, what does an average summer in your production company look like?
So this summer was the first like proper summer that I've been with them. So I got to go on tour with them every weekend. So we're going to different towns and cities with the same crew, the same bands, and we were just traveling across the UK. We were having so much fun, and I think the best thing about it was having free accommodation and free food, and it was so much fun just going to all these different places and just finding new things to do and new people. And
what a way to travel when you're young as well. I mean, that's amazing. Have you got some highlights of places you've been? I don't know how much of a chance you get to see the areas, but...
I went to Whitby, which was amazing.
Where's Whitby?
Whitby's on like the right side of the UK, far right side.
Okay.
But it was definitely a trek. It was like 7 hours in a van. But it's where Dracula, I think, was supposedly around in Whitby. So that was really fun.
I see. So just coming back to festivals, I have to know, what is this story about you and the lady chasing you? I have to find out.
Well, it goes back to Woodshop that I mentioned earlier. I was doing some crowd work and I was in the crowd, and this lady decided that she wanted to chase me for a bit of attention. So I panned over to her, and she was dancing and having fun, and everyone was enjoying it. And then I got the signal to cut away and to go to find someone else that was having fun. And it was fine, everything was going good, and then she comes back over and she taps me on the shoulder. And she's just begging for this attention on the screen, which I eventually give to her, and I make a joke about it with her. I'm like jumping back and forth, and she just starts kind of following me through the crowd, and I clock onto it after like a minute. I'm like, it's the same person. So I make another joke, and she starts running at me. So I run away. So I end up carrying this heavy camera on my shoulder facing towards her and running around this entire festival grounds, and the crowd loved it. It was so much fun. But
so the crowd was seeing a shot of literally behind over your shoulder of her running towards you.
Yeah. I don't know how stable it was. I mean, I was running handheld, so it might have been a bit blurry.
But in the moment you snapped and you caught that content, I mean, that must have been kind of scary.
It was a little bit. It was a little bit scary, but I had a lot of fun doing it.
So what do you think? Was she obsessed with you, with the camera? What's the...
Well, I guess we'll never know.
That's really, really bizarre. Yeah,
It is.
do you find that you get a lot of people who really just love the camera and want to follow you around?
Yeah, it's quite funny seeing people's reaction in the crowds, because you can tell who wants your attention and who doesn't. And if I'm feeling a little bit annoying, I'll go up to someone who doesn't want the attention and I'll stand there awkwardly filming them, and everyone laughs at that. But the people who want attention, they're the most fun, because they just really dance with you and have fun, and everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of the vibe of the festival, isn't it? I mean, you must, to be the sort of person who enjoys those events and likes being in the pit
Yeah.
with people,
Yeah.
you have to be the sort of person who likes that kind of crowd. I mean, I know I don't enjoy festivals myself. Like, what do you think the buzz is for you?
I think the buzz is the satisfaction of seeing my work, my live work, get put on screen, and seeing people's reactions to the shots and the music and everything that's going on. I think it's just really rewarding to see people enjoy something that I've got an impact on. And I mean, also the crew are always talking to me in my headset and telling me, "Oh, you're doing a great job." It's just a really encouraging and happy environment. I love it. I love it so much.
No, it sounds amazing, and I'm so glad you enjoy it. Thank you for sharing that story with us. It was so bizarre. But that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us, Luke, and telling us about why we need to be more careful around ladies at festivals. Next week, we'll be uncovering Bigfoot, which is going to be an interesting interview. But for now, that's all we have time for. So from me and the crew, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.